Welcome back to Creating Your Life. This is episode 2, Blind Spots, part 1. We're going to start off by watching a psychological card trick by Richard Wiseman at Quirkology.com. And this is something I recommend that you subscribe to. He's all over YouTube, but he has his own website, and I think you'll find it very fascinating.
In a few moments' time, I'm going to ask you to choose one of these 3 cards. And the choice is completely yours. If you want, you can choose the King. Alternatively, you can choose the 10. Or if you like, you can choose the Ace. It's a completely free choice, but make your decision now. Now, my prediction is that most of you would have chosen the Ace. Why? Because it's towards the camera, and so it appears larger. The King at the back of the table appears smaller. And this is a really compelling illusion. In fact, it's so compelling that even if I now bring the King closer to the 10, it would still appear small. Or I could bring the Ace up here, and it will still appear to be massive. It just shows you how the assumptions your eyes and brain are making.
So obviously this is a magician's trick, and it's illustrative though of something that magicians know about your mind and that they take advantage of. That they know that you are going to have blind spots, that you're in fact going to have a mind that fills in things that you don't realize it's filling in. They know that the mind has certain tendencies, and so they can make you believe you're seeing one thing when you're actually seeing something else, but not consciously registering it. So I'm going to play this again because I want you to see how magicians operate and how they take advantage of this. It'll help you understand also how misdirection works, how they can have you focus in one area and not in somewhere else. So obviously at the beginning, all the cards are the same. This is not a camera trick per se. It's a magician's trick. So notice he takes the King, and for a moment it's out of frame, and that's where the switch occurs. With the 10, he's not switching it, but with the Ace, he's going big. So his movements are so smooth that in fact you take it to be one movement, and you don't realize something else is going on. Your mind fills in the blank, and it functions kind of like a spin doctor of perception. This is important to understand because magicians and con artists take advantage of the same thing. They know human nature. They know how minds work. They know they can put your attention on one thing and get away with doing something somewhere else. And we'll be exploring this idea a little bit more later. But I want you to first think about this and be aware that psychologically, your mind is not exactly showing you what's really going on in the world. It's showing you something else. Let me give you another example. Take a moment and read this sentence one time. Okay, now what I want you to do is read it again, and this time read it one time and count the letters F. Okay, if you're like most people, you see 3 F's, right? Well, there is in fact 7 F's in that sentence. Find them. What's fascinating is more than half the people who look at this, you can show them this sentence, you can tell them there are 7 F's, and even after you tell them, they only see the original 3. These are the 3 that most people see in finished files and scientific. But there are 4 other F's. And isn't it interesting that I can be saying that to you right now? I can be telling you that there are actual F's in the sentence that you're not seeing, and you know what an F looks like. You go looking for them, but you don't see them. Your mind is actually screening them out. Here are where the other 4 F's are. See the 4 ofs in the sentence? Finished files are the result of years of scientific study, combined with the experience of many years of experts. 7 F's, but for most of you, you could only see 3 F's. Or perhaps you saw 4 or 5. When you were told there were 7, it was still hard to spot the other ones. Now, this likely has something to do with the fact that the V sound in of is somehow getting in your way, that you're reading this phonetically. Even if you think you're looking for an image, you're in fact reading it, sounding it out for the F. Sometimes people with English as a second language find it easier to spot these Fs because they're actually looking for the visual clues rather than the audio one. But this points something out. You may have had the experience of seeing two people argue about something, and one person is trying to convince the other person that something is true. And they can even be showing them evidence. Look, it's right here. The data is right here. This is true. And the other is saying, no, it isn't. I don't see that. There can be something in your head where the truth can be shown to you. People can be pointing it out, and you still don't see it. This is important, especially given the series that we're going to be going into as we go into other topics. I want to lay the foundation here to show you that the mind has the ability to be a spin doctor. And it can be a spin doctor in a very particular way. It can do it unconsciously, subconsciously, but there are ways you can start exploring your own mind and starting to remove some of these filters so that you can see reality more clearly. That, in fact, when somebody is trying to show you the truth, you may be more able to see it and respond to what is actually there rather than what you think is there. That's all for now. The next episode will go into more blind spots, part 2. In the meantime, go to Marc Andre Alexander and subscribe to my email list and get some free materials.